Hello everyone, this video explains about system calls. A system call is a function that a user program uses to ask the operating system for a particular service. User programmers can communicate with the operating system. System call provides the services of the operating system to the user programs via Application Program Interface API. It provides an interface between a process and an operating system to allow user-level processes to request services of the operating system. System calls are the only entry points into the kernel system. All programs needing resources must use system calls. A user program can interact with the operating system using a system call. A number of services are requested by the program, and the OS responds by launching a number of systems calls to fulfill the request. System calls serve as the interface between an operating system and a process. System calls can typically be found as assembly language instructions. The most common system calls used on Unix system calls, Unix-like, and other POSIX-compliant operating systems are open, read, write, close, wait, exec, fork, exit, and kill. To forcefully abort the process, simply end it normally. Execute a process after loading it into the main memory. Terminate the current process before starting a new one. The applications operate in user space, a portion of memory. The operating system's kernel, which runs in kernel space, is reached through a system call. There are primarily 5 different types of system calls in the operating system: process control, file management, device management, information maintenance, communication. The most common system calls used on Unix system calls, Unix-like, and other POSIX-compliant operating systems are open, read, write, close, wait, exec, fork, exit, and kill. Rules for passing parameters to the system call. The system call cannot accept the floating point parameters as a parameter. In the system call, a finite number of arguments may be passed. Important system calls used in OS. Fork. The fork system call in OS is used by processes to make copies of themselves. Exec. When an executable file replaces an earlier executable file within the context of an active process, this system call is executed. Exit. An exit system call is used when the program must be stopped. When the exit system call is used, the resources that the process was using were released. Kill. The OS uses the kill system call to urge processes to terminate by sending them a signal. A kill system call can have different meanings and is not always used to end a process. Wait. In certain systems, a process must wait for another process to finish running before continuing. Why do you need system calls in operating system? System calls are necessary for reading and writing from files. System calls are necessary for a file system to add or remove files. A system call can be written in high-level languages like C or Pascal or in assembly language. If a high-level language is used, the operating system may directly invoke system calls, which are predefined functions. A system call is a mechanism used by programs to request services from the operating system, OS. A system call is initiated by the program executing a specific instruction, which triggers a switch to kernel mode, allowing the program to request a service from the OS. The OS then handles the request, performs the necessary operations, and returns the result back to the program. It is a way for a program to interact with the underlying system, such as accessing hardware resources or performing privileged operations.